Welcome to Lotus Lane Daily. I'm glad you're here. Today's wisdom is for anyone going through something hard. You know that feeling when you are at a wedding, or scrolling past another engagement post, or just lying awake on an ordinary night, and a cold thought arrives without warning? What if it never happens for me? What if I am still alone in 10 years, in 20 at the end? It is not a passing worry. It sits in your chest and it has a weight, and once it shows up, it is very hard to put down. If you searched for this in the quiet hours, you already know this fear is not really about being single this week. It is about a future you cannot see, a story you have started telling yourself, and the question underneath all of it, which is whether you are someone who gets to be loved. That fear deserves an honest answer, not a cheerful slogan. So let us actually look at it. What this fear is really made of. The first thing worth seeing clearly is that this fear is rarely about the present moment. Plenty of single days are perfectly fine. You have friends, work, small pleasures, a life. The fear is not about today. It is about a projected future, an imagined version of you, decades from now, alone. And here is the important part. That future does not exist. It is a story your mind built out of anxiety, and your mind presented it to you as if it were a forecast. Your mind does this because uncertainty is uncomfortable, and a frightening certainty can feel oddly more bearable than an open question. So instead of sitting with, "I do not know how my life will unfold," your mind hands you, "It will never happen," a definite answer, even though it is a painful and completely unverified one. You then react to that invented certainty as though it were real news. There is an old line about seeing clearly that is useful here. Wisdom is the ability to see things as they really are, not as we wish them to be, and then to act accordingly. Seeing things as they really are cuts both ways. It means not pretending everything is fine when it hurts, but it also means refusing to treat a frightened prediction as a fact. The truth right now is not, "I will be alone forever." The truth is, "I am single now, I want connection, and the future is genuinely unwritten." That is harder to hold than a grim certainty, but it is the honest version, and it is the only one you can actually work with. The quiet damage of the fear itself. Here is something worth knowing, because it is doing more harm than the singleness is. The fear of being alone forever often becomes the thing that pushes love away. When you are afraid, you tend to do one of two things. You either grip too hard, moving too fast with people, ignoring warning signs, staying in things that are wrong because being with someone feels safer than the void. Or you protect yourself by giving up, withdrawing, deciding it is hopeless, stopping before you can be rejected. Both come straight from the fear, and both make a good relationship less likely, not more, which then feeds the fear, which tightens the loop. Fear also leaks. People can sense desperation, and people can sense someone who has quietly closed the door. Neither is a flaw in you. They are just what fear does to a person who has been carrying it a long time. But it is worth knowing because it means the fear is not a neutral observer of your situation. It is an active force shaping it. The thing nobody says out loud. Being partnered is not the same as being happy, and being single is not the same as being unhappy. Everyone knows this, and almost nobody believes it about their own life. There are people in marriages who feel profoundly alone, lying awake next to someone, and there are single people with rich, warm, deeply connected lives. A relationship is not a cure for loneliness. The right one helps. The wrong one makes it far worse. This matters because the fear quietly assumes that a partner is the one thing standing between you and an okay life. That assumption is false, and it puts a crushing weight on a future relationship that no relationship can carry. It also blinds you to the connection already in your life. Friends, family, the people who already love you. There is an old line that fits here. The person who has even one true friend is not alone. One genuine friend is worth more than 1,000 acquaintances. Loneliness and singleness are not the same condition. You can be single and deeply held by people who love you. Tending those bonds is not a consolation prize. It is real love, and it counts. Things that actually help. Build the life, not the wait. The most common single-person trap is treating your life as a waiting room, a holding pattern that only truly begins when a partner arrives. Years can vanish that way. Decide instead that your life has already started. Make your home a place you love. Pursue the work, the friendships, the travel, the projects that matter to you now. A full life is good in itself, and it also quietly removes the desperation that makes dating go badly. Invest hard in friendship and community. A common mistake is putting all your relational energy into the search for a partner, while letting friendships thin out. Reverse it. Deep friendships are real intimacy, and they meet a great deal of the need for connection that you are currently aiming entirely at a romantic partner. Be the friend who reaches out first. People who feel held by a community date from a much steadier place. Take real, small action instead of ruminating. There is a line worth keeping close. When you are unsure what to do, take action. Movement creates clarity. Sitting still creates confusion. The fear grows loudest in stillness at 2 a.m. in your head. It shrinks when you do something. Join the class, go to the event, message the person, say yes to the gathering. Action does not guarantee an outcome, but it breaks the spell of the imagined future, because you are now living in the real one. Question the timeline in your head. Somewhere you have absorbed a schedule, married by this age, settled by that one, and the fear is partly just panic about being off schedule. But that schedule is borrowed, not real. People meet partners at every age, in every decade, after divorces, after long single stretches, after giving up and being surprised. There is no closing door. The door you are picturing was painted on by anxiety. If the fear is loud and constant, treat it as anxiety, not prophecy. When a fear runs your nights and shapes your decisions, it has crossed from ordinary worry into something worth getting help with. A good therapist can help you loosen its grip. That is not an admission of weakness. It is treating a real source of suffering with the seriousness it deserves. What I want to leave you with. Here is the honest truth. Without sugar, nobody can promise you exactly how your life will go. I cannot tell you the date you will meet someone or guarantee that you will. That uncertainty is real, and pretending it away would not respect you. But here is what is also true. The future is not written, and the grim version your mind keeps showing you is not a forecast. It is fear wearing the costume of fact. Right now, tonight, you have a life with real things in it and real people who care about you. Your worth was never something a relationship was going to confirm or deny. It is already yours. Build a life so full and so genuinely yours that a partner would be an addition to it, not a rescue from it. That is the steadiest ground to stand on, and not by accident, it is also the ground from which love most often finds people. You are not running out of time. You are allowed to want connection and to be at peace at the same time. Start there, tonight, with the life and the people you already have. That's the wisdom for today. If something here landed for you, share it with one person who might need to hear it too. Take it slow. I'll see you tomorrow on Lotus Lane Daily.